Hello again and welcome to class number 254. Okay, have you ever been in this studio physically? You haven't. You've never been in the studio. Have you ever been to Texas? You haven't. Have you ever been to Japan? You have. How many times have you been there? Just once. When were you there? 2 years ago. How long were you there? For 2 weeks. Oh. Did you have a good time? You did. Was the weather nice? It was. Okay, good. Have you ever, Richard, yes, are you asking me questions? Have you ever fallen out of a tree? No, I've never fallen out of a tree, I think. Have you ever fallen? Me? Yes. Have you ever fallen from the top of a building? No, I've never fallen from the top of a building. Really? But I've dropped a barometer from the top of a building. Excuse me. I've dropped a barometer from the top of a building. A what? Un barómetro. A barometer measures the atmospheric pressure. Really, yeah. And why did you drop a barometer? Well, there was a question on an exam that said, you're at the top of a building and you have a barometer. How can you measure the height of the building with a barometer? And so I said, well, you drop it and time it until it hits the ground. All right. But I've never fallen from the top of a building. Have you ever eaten kangaroo meat? Kangaroo meat? Carne de canguro. No. I've never eaten, I've never eaten kangaroo meat. Have you ever come to this studio on a horse? No, I've never come here on a horse, but I've come on a donkey. On a donkey? Yeah, once, many, many years ago. I came on a donkey. Have you ever driven a Formula One race car? No, I've never driven a Formula One race car. Have you ever taken Marta to an expensive restaurant? No. Sorry, Marta. I've never taken Marta. Well, it depends on your definition of expensive. Eh? I've never taken Marta to an expensive restaurant. Have you ever grown potatoes in your vegetable garden? Look, I don't have a vegetable garden. Una huerta de verduras. I've never grown potatoes in my... Well, yes, I have. I have grown potatoes in primary school in a glass of water. But I've never grown potatoes in a garden. And have you ever fought in a boxing match? Yes, I have. Many times. When I was in primary school, when I was 7 and 8 years old, my mother, during the summer, my mother took me to the YMCA. It's the YMCA, YMCA, Young Men's Christian Association. And in the entire morning, under supervision of a coach, we did many different sports, including boxing. Yeah. And then in the university, the first year of the university, I boxed a little bit. A little bit. I'm not a very good boxer, but in any case, yes, I have fought in a boxing match. Have you ever fought in a war? No, I've never fought in a war. Has your father ever fought in a war? Well, that question is not correct grammatically. Let's see. Has your father ever fought? ¿Ha luchado, ha peleado alguna vez en una guerra? Has your father ever fought in a war? No, the question is grammatically correct, but it's not correct. Situationally, why is that? Because my father's dead. So you can't use the present perfect. You have to use the simple past. Oh. Did your father ever fight? Perfect. Repeat. Richard, did your father ever fight in a war? Yes, he did. What war did he fight in? Preposición al final. ¿Qué guerra luchó en? What war did he fight in? He fought in the Second World War. In the Pacific or in Europe? In Europe. All right. In the Army or in the Navy? In the Air Force. Well, the Air Force didn't exist at that time. The Air Force wasn't a separate branch of the military. You had the Naval Air Corps, el Cuerpo Aéreo Naval, and the Cuerpo Aéreo del Ejército, the Army Air Corps. And my father was a member of the Army Air Corps. Okay. Have you ever grown 20 centimeters in 1 year? No. I've never grown 20 centimeters in 1 year. Have you ever kept your money in a Moroccan bank? Un banco marroquí? No, I've never kept my money in a Moroccan bank. Have you ever hurt somebody's feelings? Probably. I've hurt somebody's feelings. Have you ever hurt Marta's feelings? Marta, have I ever hurt your feelings? She's shaking her head. She's not nodding her head, she's shaking her head. Come on, have I ever hurt your feelings? She says, I've never hurt her feelings. I've never hurt her feelings. Este tipo de frases on page 167, 168, 169, and 170. Have you ever, have I ever, has he ever, has she ever, have they ever, have we ever? Y luego practicando el participio del verbo. Gone, seen, taken, brought, fought. Have you ever seen a flying elephant? In real life, no, I've never seen a flying elephant. Dumbo, in the cartoons, the Disney character, I've seen Dumbo, but I've never seen a real flying elephant. Have you ever seen a UFO? No, I've never seen an unidentified flying object. Have you ever seen a movie with Clark Gable? Yes, I've seen many movies. You can say, se puede practicar hasta la saciedad. Okay, one more point on page 253. Translation booklet, list 28. Are you ready? Are you ready? Aquella gente es alemana. Escucha. Those people are German. German, sin ese, no Germans. Those people are German. Son de nacionalidad alemana, vamos. Those people, aquella gente, esa gente, those people are German. Es difícil la primera vez, eh? It's difficult the first time. Really, yeah, it's always difficult. It's always difficult the first time. The second time, no. It's easy. What's difficult the first time? The first time you give an English class on television. The very first time, primerísima vez, the very first time is difficult. But if you successfully finish it, if you finish the first time okay, the second one is easy. After that, a piece of cake, right? Un trozo de tarta, pan comido. All right, it's difficult the first time. It's difficult the first. Los nombres no están en orden, Marta? The names aren't in order. The names aren't. Los británicos. The names aren't in order. Siempre tengo que empezar con un poco de tonalidad británica. Oh, yes, the names aren't in order. The names aren't in, me cuesta. The names aren't in order. The names aren't in order. Marta, put them in order. I want the names in order. What kind of order? Alphabetical order. Oh, in that case, you're at the last. Por la V. Okay, well, no, the opposite. Start with the Z or the Z, and then go down. All right. Las madres de los niños están aquí. Wow. Horror. The children's mothers are here. Why are the children's mothers here? Because they're angry. They're angry. Why are they angry? They're angry because the children are not progressing enough. Oh. The children's mothers are here. ¿Por qué no es correcta esta cifra? Why isn't this figure correct? Figure. Curiosa palabra. Figure. Bueno, figure son cifras. Figure también es figura. Ella tiene una figura muy bonita. She has a very nice figure. Figura ocho, figure 8. Figure skating. You say in Spanish patinaje artístico. And we say figure skating. So figure es una figura. Figure out es entender. No entiendo esto. No le saco ni pies en la cabeza. No saco esto. I can't figure this out. Figure. Pero figures son cifras. Numbers, figures. The British say figures. Figures. Very, very different. This is quite different between American English and British English. The figures. Why isn't this figure correct? Figure. Figure. I can't figure out why they say figure, but they say figure. All right, figure. ¿Qué tiempo hace hoy? What's the weather like today? Or how's the weather? How's the weather? How's the weather? If I really want to know, if I need to know the weather, I don't say how's the weather. I say what's the weather like? Now, if I'm making conversation, I say how's the weather? You remember, I say, hey, Hans, how are you, Hans? I'm very well, Richard. How are you? Fine. Hey, how's the weather in Munich? It's raining very hard in Munich today. You know, I'm not really interested in the weather in Munich, but I need to talk to Hans, and I need to make small talk. Charla pequeña. Well, small talk means, the preliminary frivolous conversation before you start the serious part. I need to talk to Hans about a problem. So, I call him. Hello, Hans. How are you? This is Richard from Madrid. Yeah, Hans. Tell me, how's everything? Are you okay? How's the weather in Munich? Okay, how's the weather? To tell you the truth, a decir verdad, to tell you the truth, I'm not interested in the weather in Munich. Now, if I'm planning to fly to Munich in 2 hours, I need to go to the airport. I'll say, Hans, what's the weather like today in Munich? What should I wear? Should I take an umbrella? Should I take warm clothes? Fíjate, he dicho warm clothes, ropa de abrigo, ropa que abrigue, warm clothes. All right, should I take more? In that case, I say, what's the weather like? What's the weather like? La nieve es normal en Suecia, hombre. Snow's normal in Sweden. Come on, don't be surprised. My God, Richard, it's snowing. Excuse me, you have just arrived in Stockholm. Yeah, and you won't believe it, it's snowing outside. Johnny, it's January in Sweden. That's normal. Snow's normal in Sweden. La nieve es normal en Suecia. Snow is normal in Sweden. Snow's normal. Están fuera. O sea, están en la calle. ¿Dónde están los niños? Están en la calle. They're outside. Outside. Inside, outside. Outside. It's outside. I think I've told you, but when my daughter was born, and my son, both, I always spoke to them only in English. My wife in Spanish, and me in English. And so my children grew up with 2 languages simultaneously. And so when they were 2 years old, 3 years old, they thought that all fathers spoke one way and all mothers spoke another. That was reality for them. Father and mother speak in different ways. But they didn't question. Little children, Don't question things. That's an advantage for learning a language. But I remember the first word my daughter learned, the first word my daughter said in English was outside. Outside. It's strange. I think she was 7 or 8 months old. She was a little baby. And she said, quiero ir outside. Quiero ir outside. Outside. Quería salir a la calle, al parque. And she said, outside. Aquí en España se dice en la calle. La gente le gusta pasar horas en la calle. Esta expression, in the street, we don't say in English. We say outside. An outdoor cafe outside. People like to have dinner outside in sidewalk cafes or outdoor cafes. They like to go outside. So, fuera, claro, está fuera. Los niños están fuera, claro. Aquí se diría los niños están jugando en la calle o están en la calle. They're outside, outside, outside. Mis hijos están en el colegio. My kids are at school. Where are your kids now? They're at school. My children. Recuerda la pronunciación. Children. Not children, no. Children. My children are at school. My kids are at school. It's interesting. I'm repeating things from many, many classes ago, but my kids son mis hijos. The kids son los chavales, los niños, the kids. Mira los chicos, mira todos los niños en el patio recreo. Look at all the kids in the patio recreo. I've forgotten how to say that in English, in American English, out on the playground. The playground, terreno de juego. Ground, terreno, play de juego. Look at all the kids in the playground. So kids and children can both be niños en general o hijos propios de uno. My children, my kids. Cuando personalizas con un adjetivo posesivo, mi, su, tu, vuestro. And then we have kids or children, siempre en plural. Now in singular, no decimos my kid. Where's your kid? No se dice, ¿dónde está tu hijo o tu niño? ¿Dónde está tu hijo o tu hija? We don't say, where's your kid? No lo usamos en singular. Ahora, un niño, ¿qué hace ese niño solo en el patio recreo? What's that kid doing? What's that kid doing over there? Eso sí, pero cuando es hijo propio no se dice my kid. Se dice my son, my daughter, my little boy, my little girl, and that's it, my child. Tampoco se dice mucho my child. Who is that boy? That boy is my child. My child. No, that boy is my son. Really? Yeah, my little boy. How old is he? He's 7. Wow. He's tall for his age. A little bit, yeah. He's going to be a future basketball player. All right. So, mis hijos están en el colegio. My kids are at school. My children are at school. Es un sitio, ya verás, es un sitio maravilloso. It's a wonderful place. What? Mars. Have you been there? You've never been to Mars. It's a wonderful place. Really? I mean, I've looked at it through a telescope. I've looked at it. Lo he mirado. I've looked at it through a telescope, but I've never been there. Have you been there? Yeah, twice. Really? It's a wonderful place. Really? Yeah. You'll love it. When are you planning to go? I'm not planning to go. Well, I think you should go. Creo que deberías ir. I think you should go. I encourage you, te animo. I encourage you to go. You'll love it. Es un sitio maravilloso. It's a wonderful life. It's a wonderful place. Qué anillo más hermoso. What a beautiful ring. Wow. What a beautiful ring. Fíjate, digo, what a. Decís aquí, qué anillo más hermoso, o más bello. What a beautiful ring. What a beautiful, wonderful, what a beautiful, what a wonderful day. What a beautiful day. It's really nice. Al menos 7 personas están en la sala de espera. At least 7 people are in the waiting room. What are they doing? Waiting. But who are they waiting for? They're waiting for you. Why are they waiting for me? Well, because you're the doctor. Huh? Am I a doctor? Yeah, you're having some memory problems, I think. There are at least 7 people waiting for you in the waiting room. So at least 7 people are in the waiting room. Mi opinión es, oye, mi opinión es importante también, eh? My opinion is important too. Not only your opinion or his opinion or her opinion, but what about y de mi opinión qué? What about? What about my opinion? Richard, your opinion is irrelevant. My opinion is irrelevant, but I'm the boss here. No, you're over the hill. I'm over the hill. What does that mean? You're over the hill. No estás en la cima de la colina o de la montaña. Estás ya yendo cuesta abajo. Come on. We need an injection of youth. Youth. Juventud. Yes, we need an injection of youth, energy in this company. Yes. Your opinion used to be important. Your opinion was important many years ago, but your opinion isn't important now. Yes. My opinion's important too. Mi opinión es importante también. Escucha la pronunciación aquí. My opinion. My opinion. Opinion. Fíjate cómo pronuncio la O. Primera, de opinion. A table, a book, a finger, a shirt, opinion. De hecho, un piñón, de piñón fijo, piñón, es opinion. ¿Cuál es tu opinión sobre este piñón? What's your opinion about this piñón? My opinion. My opinion is that it's opinion. Like any opinion, it's opinion. Opinion. No, opinion. Opinion? No, opinion. Onion. ¿Qué opinas de las cebollas? What is your opinion of onions? Onion opinion. Opinion. Yan, 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 yan. Como el yam, yam. Casi suena yam, yam, yan, yan. Opinion. Así se termina la ION en muchas palabras. Oblivion. Opinion. Action. Opinion. What's your opinion? My opinion is important too. ¿Es de ellos de verdad? Is it really theirs? Well, that microphone, yeah. That microphone belongs to them. To Johnny, Priscilla, and Paul. That's the JPP gang. Johnny, Priscilla, and Paul. And that microphone belongs to them. It doesn't belong to me. It's theirs. It's not mine. Is it really theirs? Yeah, it's really theirs. Is it really theirs? Yes. Does it really belong to them? Yes, it belongs to them. Since when? ¿Desde cuándo? I don't know. It has always belonged to them. It's always, contracción, it's, en este caso, it has. Ello ha siempre pertenecido a ellos, así en inglés. It has always belonged to them. Contraigamos. It's always belonged to them. It's always been theirs. Siempre ha sido suyo. Y sigue siendo suyo. Siempre it's always been theirs. It's never been mine. All right. ¿Es de ellos de verdad? Is it really theirs? No. Este teléfono no es demasiado pequeño, ¿verdad? It's not too small, is it? Richard, what? The studio, this television, yeah. What about it? ¿Qué hay de ello? What about it? It's not too small, is it? Yes, it's too small for me. I need a big studio. Yes. Learning English is important, and we need an important studio. This studio is not adequate. It's not appropriate for the importance of the English language. I need a bigger studio. No es demasiado pequeño, ¿verdad? It's not too small, is it? Fíjate, is it? Veremos estos endings, esas terminaciones. Tag endings. Es demasiado pequeño, ¿no? It's too small, isn't it? Y luego lo contrario. No es demasiado pequeño, ¿verdad? It's not too small, is it? Say, is it? Isn't it? Is it? You're Richard Vaughan, aren't you? Yes, I am. You're not Pedro Perez, are you? No, I'm not. These tag endings are not important for you to use. But you need to be familiar for listening comprehension because we use tag endings a lot. A lot. But you can go through your entire life without using them. In fact, you can use Spanish. This is a book. No. It's understandable. This isn't a book, yes. All right, but I don't recommend it. Son ellos los que van con retraso. They're the ones who are late. I'm not the one who's late. They're the ones who's late. And now it's too late because I have to stop the class. See you tomorrow.